Hey there, everybody. The Modern Native here. Just gonna do a rant in the woods. Wasn't really much of a rant. Might turn into one. Never know. Might end up going on a tangent. First off, can't really see it, but I'm leaning because my bushcraft bench failed. Um, I kind of did it half-assed. Wasn't meant to last. It was meant to just be alright for that night. I was gonna take it apart, but then I said screw it because I knew I was gonna be coming back. Gonna end up making probably a more permanent one that I can tuck somewhere over here and camouflage. Um, but yeah, the other night when I was roasting marshmallows and I fell over, check that out. And I didn't really catch it on video, but the moment was there. I felt like it was kind of funny. But yeah, when I fell over, I broke my bench. It's been a lounger ever since. It's pretty much just a oblong tripod. Whatever. Suits the purpose. If I want to be seated, I can be in the hammock, but sometimes I like to stretch out, lay out, without being in the hammock, because being in the hammock apparently is a recipe for let's pass out for days. um, Normally I'm an insomniac, can't sleep, can't ever sleep, ever. So I have just kind of trained myself. I don't try to sleep like a normal person, so if I have an hour or two where I'm starting to feel groggy or whatever else, I don't care if I'm sitting in the hammock, sitting in my recliner in the house, or even reclined back like this. If I am at that point where I feel like I can sleep for a little bit, I'll grab an hour, and then I'll be good for another day or two. And on average, on a good week, on average, if I don't have one of my two failures, pass outs where I've been awake for 4 days and I finally get to sleep, and then I pass out for like 12 hours because I actually laid down comfortably. Um, Normally, in a week, I'll get 5, maybe 6 hours of sleep in a 7-day period. That's no lie. Um, but I function like that. I'm totally functioning, totally normal, totally healthy. Uh, there was one entire year of my life where I spent four, yeah, I'd be awake for 40 hours straight, and I'd sleep for 4 hours, and then I'd be awake for 40 hours, and then I'd sleep for 4 hours. It was perfect. It was a perfect balance, perfect recipe. I functioned, I was healthy, and I had that good balance. It was the first time where I had a schedule, where I knew where I would go to sleep, and where I would crash, and where I would sleep, and how long I would sleep. Because there's come a point where, when it comes to sleeping, I worked for Kirby, and during the spiel, he talked about getting people to get into it by making it, you'd give them $500 off if they could guess where people spend 1/3 of their life to 1/2 of their life. And it was a whole gimmick because, they upcharged by almost $2,000. So that way they can give that gimmick, give that $500 discount, so people be like, oh, I should get it. But you spend 1/3 to 1/2 of your life in bed, sleeping in the bed. If not, up to a half, if that's where you hang out, if that's where you chill out, or if you sleep excessively. So I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, maybe my insomnia is a blessing. Because that means if I'm sleeping, say, if I get my balance right and I'm able to get, you know, between 8 and 12 hours in a week. That's average what one person sleeps a day. So that means I have gotten 7 times the amount of time that would have been spent. Let me do some verbal math with you. You're supposed to get 8 hours. But with the way people are today, most people sleep somewhere between 9 and 12 hours. So, let's just average it out and make it easy. Call it 10 hours. And let's average it out again, 10 hours in the week. Okay. So that means in a 7-day period, you are sleeping for 70 hours. Whereas I am still only sleeping for 10 hours in that 7-day period. That means I have freed up 60 hours of time where I can do things. That's more than a work week. That's almost 3 full days. Right? 24, 48, 72. Means 12 hours away from being 3 full days. It's 2.5 days. There's a whole different side to the world when you are not constrained by from dawn till dusk, from 9 to 5, from sleeping at night, from sleeping that 1/3 to 1/2 of your life. I am able to do and think about so much. There's so much time people don't get to actually contemplate and actually think. I'm an innovator. I am an inventor. I've been building and designing a green city for over a decade that's totally self-sustained, self-sufficient, and actually is, by all evidence, by all intents and purposes, it's the solution to most of the country's problems, if not the world. But that's a whole nother discussion for another time. If there's interest, let me know, and I might start talking about that, see if I can't get some interest, because I am actually looking to do it. I'm looking to build it. But anyway, I lost my place. Thinking. People don't have enough time. You don't have enough time to actually contemplate and think about just things, about new things, about I wonder if, I wonder what would happen if, those questions. If you're actually able to take the time and ask yourself those questions and try to answer those questions yourself, you can start innovating and thinking about so many things that weren't possible before. And to me, that's robbing yourself of so much opportunity in life. That is, like I said, even if you could cut down in half, sleep for 4 to 6 hours a night. That'll be enough energy. You'll be able to recharge enough. But that'd be a good step down for most people. Just sleep 4 to 6 hours. That's it. You'd be surprised how much more you have, how much more time you have. then cut that down a little bit more. Try doing the cat naps. See how long you can go with just only sleeping an hour. Do it an hour every 12 hours. You take a nap and watch. You won't be able to sleep for days. If you do that, that will be the only time you can sleep is that hour. And I bet you can do so much more, have so much more time. And not everybody can do it, so maybe you can't. Just accept that. It's your physical limitations. My body has always made it hard for me to go to sleep, has always made it hard for me to wake up once I am asleep. So if I've noticed it since I was a kid, if I slept past a certain length, it was almost like going into a coma. Like, if I slept for more than 4 hours, I was going to be sleeping for 12. I was going to be sleeping for 16. I was going to have to be jarred awake. There's been times where I've literally slept for a day and a half for no reason. Just slept for a day and a half. I swear I go into mini comas. And I don't like that. That is a lot of time lost. I have missed out on a lot of opportunities because I've overslept. I've missed out on so much just from sleeping. So, and in my life personally, a lot of bad things have happened because I was sleeping, because I wasn't there, because I wasn't doing something. So, it's just one of those things for me. I feel better if I'm there, if I'm doing something, if I'm awake. Because, I don't know, it's just lost time to me. So, I don't know, just that kind of rounded about to coming around to just talking about how don't sleep so much if you can help it. Oh, well, that kind of led into the idea that I want to do. Let me know what you think about this. Please, please, please give me some feedback on this idea. What do you guys think about doing a sleep deprivation challenge? I'm thinking about a through hike. The Cranberry 50 is popular. I might even go intense and do the Northville Lake Placid Trail. There's a through hike through here in my area. I think it's like a 5-6 day hike. What do you think about an endurance hike with sleep deprivation training, where I forcibly choose to go without sleep for the duration of a through hike? Or minimal sleep, at minimal, like an hour at most at a time in a 12-hour period. What do you guys think of that? Let me know. I'd be excited to know what you guys think. Just because it does take a lot out of you. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of effort to hike, to camp, and to do all of it together. Let me know what you think about that. I want to do a staged through hike as well. One of these 5-6 day hikes. I want to start out with a full kit, full loadout, and then as I go, I lose gear as I go until I get to maybe the last day or two, and I've got just my bare minimum EDC, what I carry, and I have to survival shelter the whole way through the 2 days to finish it, and then I'll turn back around and do the process backwards. I'll start out with nothing and then get my stuff back and then exit out on the way I came in. So it'll be a double through hike. Let me know what you think about that. With the staged gear survival loss thing. Kind of like mimicking maybe like a survival situation where different stuff happens, you have an accident, and whatever, and you lose your pack, or you tumble down the mountain. Like, I'm subbed to one guy. I really can't think of his name right now. He was telling a story about how. Oh, Shug. Shug was telling a story about how his buddy tumbled down the mountain and he started losing gear that was strapped to him, and that it doesn't matter if it's strapped to you, strapped to your bag, you'll lose it if you get into that mountain tumble. So, like, maybe start out with that idea. You're solo hiking, and you tumble, you lose your bag, and then as you go, this fails, that fails, and then you're kind of just down to just the reliable EDC that you carry, you know that stuff. Just like, what do you guys think about filming that kind of scenario to do that kind of through hike? Uh, that'd be a good demonstration of skills. Okay, so round down to a couple of points I wanted to make. There's been a whole lot of talk about and discussion about boredom. Boredom while you're camping. Now, yes, because it's just me and I've been very efficient in how I've been doing everything and I've been super lazy. There's been a couple of points where I've gotten bored, but I kind of just either took a nap or I got off my ass and I did something. There's always something for me to do, because really there is. There's always wood collection, checking your shelter, checking your gear. Right now, even just thinking about it off the top of my head, I have to sharpen my gear. I've got to sharpen my hatchet, my side blade, and a couple of other things, and there's been some requests for me to do a sharpening video, so I may do that. So that's just something off the top of my head that I personally need to do. But for other people that are while they're camping, there's wood collection, there's carvings, wood carvings. Going out and exploring, looking at the wildlife, looking at the fauna and flora, the growth, the plants. Like earlier, I went around exploring. I went around exploring, checking out mushrooms, and that kind of stuff. There's fishing, and there's always games. Like I said, for kids, turn wood collection into games. Get the biggest stick, find certain kinds of sticks, get the most sticks. It's been something that I find kind of irritating almost. And I don't want to make anybody feel bad, but when someone says something to you and you want to look at them almost and go, fucking duh. Like, when you ask someone to go camping with you and they go, I mean, yeah, but what are we gonna do? I just said go fucking camping, didn't I? We're going fucking camping. That's what we're doing. We're going camping. I feel like Ahmed when I do that sometimes. Silence! I kill you! Infidels. But no, we're going camping. That's 90% of what we're gonna do. Like I said before, communication. Communication is one of the biggest things in socializing. It's one of the biggest things people apparently are having trouble with. And if I'm asking you to go camping, we are going camping. So we will be there together, hanging out together, if that's the way we're camping. Sometimes I want to go with someone to solo camp together, if that makes sense. Most of the places I want to go to, there's enough area where you could be camping over there, I could be camping over here. We're both just kind of doing our own thing. We may hang out periodically throughout the day, but for the most part, we're just doing our own thing. Totally down for that too, totally cool with that. But if we are going camping together to hang out, to go camping, you know, we're going to be hanging out. We're going to be talking. We're going to be, for me in particular, and for those that partake, we're going to be smoking. We're going to be drinking. Going to be cooking food, having time by the fire. Again, talking. We're going to go fishing. We're going to be hanging out. We're going to be, playing card games. Maybe I'll grab some dice, play some dice. Did I say card games? Card games. And like I said, wood collection. Doing what is camping. It's sad when people just going camping doesn't sound exciting to them anymore, or at all, or ever. This new generation, you got a group that it's a fad, it's a hobby, it's something to do because it's socially what a lot of people are doing. But then you have the other group of people that it's like, why would I spend money to live like a homeless person? Why? What are we gonna do? What am I gonna do? There's nothing to do. It's just being in the woods. It's dirty. Where am I gonna shower? Where am I gonna go to the bathroom? I need a mattress to sleep. I can't sleep on the ground. Nobody's ever heard of a hammock either, apparently. That's like, oh, you just camp with a hammock? How do you do that? Yeah, sleep in the fucking hammock. There's tarps for a reason. Most tents come with a rain fly anyway. What's the difference? I'm more comfortable, and it weighs like not even a pound. Like, I don't know. I'm not being accurate right there. So then you got the ones that are like, I don't have time. How much time you spend playing Xbox? How much time do you waste with someone who doesn't appreciate you or appreciate your time? And if you watch my videos, you know who I'm talking to. How much time do you spend scrolling through Facebook? Between your evening and your morning, with your idle time, after you've actually done what you actually have to do, how much time do you have? That's enough time to actually get out there. Sleep in the woods. Wake up. Have a breakfast. Pack up. Go to work. Go take your responsibilities. Having one day off, that gives you 2 nights to be able to camp. That's a lot of opportunity to have some good, amazing adventures out in the woods. If you're able to get out for 4 hours and go for a hike, that's enough time. And trust me, I know you guys have that time. You make the time. If you want the time, you make the time. It's the same thing with hanging out with someone who wants to hang out with you. someone who's been going through the effort to reach out to you, to try to talk to you, to want to hang out with you, to invest their time in you, it's the same thing for that person, for that hobby, for what I feel is a necessary recharge of the spirit and soul, body, mind, life, psychology, everything. My head don't work right if I ain't in the woods sometimes. It's just how it is. Sometimes that's just what it is. This is my meditation. But for that person who is trying to invest their time in you and get some of your time, that hobby that wants and needs some of your time, you can make that time. That time is available to you. Cut a couple hours out of your sleep schedule. Your beauty rest. You spend 1/3 to 1/2 of your life in bed. The average person also spends, one number, if I remember right, it was like 8 hours of screen time a day. I think it was, actually, no, it was like 4 to 6. Whatever. Let's just call it, I think it was like 5. And I know so many people who spend so much more time than that. That's 5 hours of screen time. That's being generous. 3 hours of TV, if I remember right. That was one metric. So, even during a work day, that is still 16 hours of your day that more or less is being idolized. You know, you are being idle during that time. That's wasted time. Because what are you doing on Facebook? Are you networking? Are you trying to make money? Are you reaching out to people and businesses and stuff to get yourself out there for, whatever your reason? Me, YouTube. If I'm on social media, if I'm on my phone, it's generally what I'm doing, especially now. I'm trying to promote myself, trying to push myself out there. So, you're scrolling. You're watching videos. Now, yes, telling people not to be on their phone, not being watching videos. You're watching me right now, so I'm happy you're doing that. I'm happy you're looking for skills and education, entertainment, fun, whatever. Yes. But what I'm talking about is always, every day, all the time, every week, every month, every year, all the time. There's more. Experience life outside of the phone more often. You will feel better about your life in general. Because it's not going to be, oh, I saw this the other day while I was scrolling. It's, hey, the other weekend I went up to the mountain and I went hiking. I actually made it to the fire tower. I was super proud of myself because that's like a 5-mile hike. And I was super exhausted, but I made it up to the top of the fire tower, and I saw this amazing 360 view of the Adirondacks, and it was beautiful. Or you could just go back to, hey, I saw this when I was scrolling. Feels like a moment to put in sound effects instead of the birds chirping. Cricket, 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 cricket. Yeah, no one cares what you saw while you were scrolling on Facebook. No one cares. No one fucking cares. Thousands of other people have already seen it, have already done it. Who saw that the other day? That sunrise, that one specific sunrise, that one specific sunset, that one beautiful view with that cloud formation. You. Maybe a handful of other people who happen to be in that area at the time or happen to go up to that mountain on that day. If you're lucky. But that is a one of a kind, once in a lifetime experience. Always, every time. I don't care if you go up and it's a storm. It's still a memorable experience. I still enjoy and talk about my storm adventures. They're there, they've happened, and they're fun. And most of them are an experience, a learning experience, or a good story. Like when that person in class that's been picking on you and everything else, and you're the fat kid in class, and they've been picking on you, but you're the first one up the mountain. You're the only one not complaining. The teacher has had to tell you to slow down multiple times. And on the way down, you're one of the only kids that didn't fall, and the one that's been picking on you the most fell so many times and is so skinned up and has been whining the whole time. And you just get to have that proud moment of the fat kid did better than you on the hike when you said I couldn't make it. Good story. I could actually get into the full detailed story of it, but even that, I still feel like that was a good one. Because, yeah, fuck you. Fat kid beat you. I used to be fat. Like 5'5", 260. You could push me over and I was the same height. Yeah, but I was still fast on my feet. I was still nimble and I was still a climber. But the entertainment factor, being bored in the woods, making time for people that are trying to invest time in you, and hobbies that are really good and healthy for you. Should definitely be investing some time in that. Anyway, that's this segment for Ranting in the Woods. Raw, uncut, unedited. That's about all I got right now. Yeah, buddy. Oh, I didn't realize that with that tarp burnt, I burnt this tarp too. God damn it. Alright, well, my phone did something stupid there for a second, but anyway, that's about it for the rants. Rants are over. But until next time, get out there, be a native, and go beast.